This is a story for Ellie and Luke. Once upon a time, a girl named Cinderella lived with her stepmother and two stepsisters. Poor Cinderella had to do lots of work all day long, while her sisters, her stepsisters, and stepmother laid down and rested and played with their toes. It was she who had to wake up every morning while it was still dark and start the fire to start the breakfast. It was she who cooked the breakfast and the lunch and the dinner. It was she who kept the fire going all day long. And it was she who had to keep cleaning up the house and the fire and the dishes. And they'd still tease her ruthlessly. "What a mess," her two sisters would say. That's why they called her Cinderella, because she was always cleaning up the fireplace. Anyways, one day, big news came to town. The king and queen were going to have a big party. They call it a ball because they have to dress up real fancy, like Ellie's pretty dresses. And they have a party, and they do a lot of dancing, and they were really pretty clothes. Anyways, this particular party was so that they could find their son, the prince, a lady to marry, so that he could have a wife and kids later on. And all the young ladies in the whole kingdom were invited to this party so that he could find a lady he would fall in love with. And everybody was so excited. They couldn't wait to go. So were Cinderella's stepsisters. They went and they got themselves the fanciest dresses and shoes and hair doo-doos and everything you can imagine so that they would be the prettiest girls, so they thought, at the party. But they weren't thinking Cinderella could go because she's not going to wear anything pretty. She's the girl that cleans up everything. She's the cinder girl. That's what they call ashes in a fireplace, cinders. That's why they call her Cinderella. Anyways, so they teased her mercilessly, saying to her, "You don't get to go. Only we get to go to the ball." And Cinderella was very sad. She really wanted to do something like that and go out and have fun like her sisters did. And her stepmother was just so mean about it. She was like, "You can't go. You have nothing to wear. You can't go." And they all laughed at her and got ready to go to the ball on that day. Anyways, one sister, she put on this big pink dress with foo-foo stuff all over it and glitter and sparklies. And she put feathers in her hair and she thought she looked great. The other sister, she put on a big green dress. It had sparkles and buttons, and she put in a big feather and bows in her hair. She thought she looked fantastic. And their mother, she dressed in this beautiful purple gown. But no matter what she did, she still didn't look like a nice person. So they left and they went to the party. And poor Cinderella, she finished cleaning up all the dishes. She said, "I'm just going to lay here and maybe go to sleep because I can't go to the party and I'm just going to be alone all the time." The next thing she knew, boom, there was a flash of light. She looked around. She's like, "Oh my gosh, what was that?" And there was a fairy godmother right there in front of her. She couldn't believe her eyes. And the fairy godmother said, "Cinderella, I think you should go to this ball too." Cinderella cried and shook her head and said, "I can't. I don't have anything to wear." "What?" said the fairy godmother. She had this really cool little wand, and she went ding, 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 ding. The next thing you knew, swirling with magic, Cinderella's wearing this beautiful gold dress, sparkling and radiating, every bit of it beautiful. Satin and silk and lace and everything you could, beads. It was beautiful. Her hair was next, and it was this beautiful updo and pulled back, and in it she had beautiful diamond barrettes in it and some flowers stuck in the back. Oh my goodness, she was gorgeous. And there on her feet, the most amazing part of it all, glass shoes. Her shoes were made of glass. How amazing is that? But that wasn't all. Fairy godmother said, you gotta get there too, right? Okay, I don't know how to get there, said Cinderella. Fairy godmother said, well, I got something for you. So what she did was she took her wand, ding, 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 wah, wah, wah. Next thing you knew, big pumpkin got turned into a coach. And a couple of mice that were just watching all this magic happen in the corner there. Poof! They turned into gorgeous, beautiful horses that were hooked up to this giant pumpkin coach. Oh my goodness. And then this poor little sparrow that's sitting up on the tree looking down, bing, he gets made into a coachman to drive the carriage. He comes and he opens the door, and Fairy Godmother said, wait, there's one thing I gotta tell you. You gotta be home by midnight. Oh, okay, said Cinderella. I can do that. I'll be home by midnight. Okay, well, you have a wonderful time. And she kissed her right on the head there. Off Cinderella went. She arrived at the ball, which was already going on, and the prince was there, sad, as he's looking around all these beautifully dressed young ladies. None of them are making him happy. He's just not found the girl of his dreams, and he's kind of sad. All of a sudden, the door opens, and there she walks in, Cinderella in her gorgeous, gorgeous gold outfit. Everybody stopped and looked at her because she was so beautiful and breathtaking. Kind of looked like you a little bit. Anyways, the prince was just, oh my goodness, he thought, what a beautiful girl. So he's like, well, beauty's not everything, so I gotta go meet her first. Because that was smart of him. You don't just judge people by how they look. So down he goes, down this big staircase, and he introduces himself and says, I am the prince. And she, oh my goodness, I can't believe you came to talk to me. Yep, I'd love to dance with you, he said to her. And okay, and they danced, and then danced again, and every song that got played by this wonderful band, they danced together. He didn't dance with any other girls, and they were all getting kind of mad. And Cinderella's sisters saw her, so did her stepmother. They were not happy to see her there, and they really weren't happy that the prince was so happy to see her either. So anyways, right around midnight, Cinderella says, I gotta go. Oh my goodness, I have to go, or all this is going to turn into rags again, and my pumpkin coach is going to be a pumpkin again. My horses are going to be mice, and my coachman's going to be a sparrow again. She started crying a little, and the prince, he didn't understand because he didn't know about her magical fairy godmother. He didn't know or understand that, so he's trying to talk her into staying, and he said, well, wait a minute, I'm going to go get you another glass of punch. Maybe you'll stay if I do that. So he runs off to get her a glass of punch, and she takes off because she knows, I got to be home by midnight. I made a promise, and I keep my promises. She hops in the coach. She left behind her shoe because she was running so fast. And, glass shoes, they don't stick on your feet very well. She left it right there on the stairs as she ran to her coach. She races home, and just as she gets home, poof, the magic all goes away. She's dressed in her rags again. The pumpkin coach is now a pumpkin again. And there's her mice as mice, not horses. And the sparrow is up on the tree chirping as he's looking at himself like, what happened? I'm a sparrow again. And she just, being Cinderella, was really happy for the moment. She was happy she met the prince. She was happy she got to dance all night and had a wonderful, magical night. So she starts to go to bed. 10 minutes later, in comes her very mad mama, or even madder sisters, and they're yelling at her. How did you get to the ball? Where did you get those clothes? You're never coming out again. You're done. You should not have come in, messed up our chances to marry the prince. They were mad, really, really mad. He locked her in her room. He said, "You're not coming out anymore." 2 days later, a man from the castle comes, and he's got written on a piece of paper that the prince found the woman of his dreams, but he can't find her because she took off on him before he got, like, her address and her cell phone number. But he does have her glass shoe, and whoever fits in this shoe has to be that woman, because let's be honest, not many people have a glass shoe. They're kind of special make. So anyways, throughout the whole town, the whole kingdom, every beautiful young woman is made to try on this shoe. And the time comes where it's Cinderella's house that they come for the shoe trying on. First comes the younger sister, and her foot is too small, and the shoe just like falls right out. So you know it's not her. So then the older sister comes. "It'll fit me, 'cause it's my shoe. I know it is." But you know it wasn't. But sat her down and tried to put her foot in it, and her foot was like 4 times too big. She had the feet of a walrus. Anyways, they said, "No, ma'am. This does." "Yes, it does. It fits me." "No, ma'am, it doesn't." So then even the mother, her stepmother, demanded on trying on one of those shoes. She put her foot down there. No. Her feet were the size of a walrus, too. So just as they're getting ready to leave, they close the door, thank them for their efforts, and they turn around because the guy dropped his wallet. He steps down, he picks up his wallet, and as he goes like that, he sees up in the window, there's another young lady living here, and she's quite lovely. Could she be the one that lost her shoe? Back to the door, and they knock on the door, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, you didn't tell us about her up there. We want her to try on the shoe." "Oh, no," said the stepsister. She's nobody. You don't want to talk to her." "Yeah, we do. Please ask her to come down." And they couldn't say no because this is the prince. This is his people saying, "We want to meet her." So begrudgingly, which means they didn't want to do it really, the sisters stomp up the stairs, slam open the door. "Cinderella, they want you to try on the shoe. It's not going to fit you, though, because it's not your shoe. You don't have glass shoes." Anyways, so Cinderella's like, "Me? Really? Really? Yeah, let's go." She goes downstairs, and she's very, very sweet and petite and quiet and nice, and she says, "Hello. I heard you want me to try on the shoe, too." "Yes, ma'am. Please have a seat." She sits down, and they put the glass shoe to her foot. It's a perfect fit. Not a little loose, not a little big, not just a little too wide, not just a little too narrow, not too high a heel, not too low a heel. It is a perfect fit. Cinderella smiles because she's thinking, well, okay, the shoe fits. I'm wearing it, but you're never going to let me out of here. I'm going to be their maid forever. I'll be Cinderella for eternity. And as she's saying thank you for the opportunity, she gets up to go back upstairs to be locked in her room again. Wait a minute," they say to her. "The prince wants to meet you. He's been looking through the entire kingdom for you." "What? Me?" she says. "Yes, ma'am." They send a messenger real quick. The prince comes as fast as he can on his fastest horse. And he comes charging in, and he knows right away the minute he sees her, that's the girl. It doesn't matter what she's wearing. Didn't matter that night what she was wearing. He knows it's her. You can tell it by her beautiful, sweet smile, her kindness, her graciousness, everything. That's the girl I met and fell in love with. So, long story short, they decide they're going to get married. Sisters and Mama aren't happy about it, but the prince got them all jobs working in the castle. So the youngest sister, she got to be the latrine maiden, which means she had to hand out toilet paper and paper towels to all the people that came in to use the bathroom. The older sister, she got to be the stable cleaner, which means she had to clean up all the poop from the horses and the cows and the pigs and the rabbits and stuff. And the mother, she got a really special job. She got to clean all the dirt from all of the fireplaces in the castle. And let me tell you, there are a lot, enough to keep her up all day and all night, every day and every night. And Cinderella and her prince, they lived happily ever after. They had 4 children together, 2 boys, 2 girls. And each of those children have remarkable stories to tell, too. And if you like this story, maybe I'll tell you those stories, too. I love you very much, and I hope you have a good night's sleep.